G'day, my name is Shoal and work for Micrographics, and we can be found on the web at www.mgfx.co.za. Right, so the purpose of this video is to just discuss and go through some of the user interface enhancements that Autodesk has made on the Revit 2021.1 edition. And the first of which is the view switching. It's basically these tabs that you see, and by default these tabs have been added by a couple of years ago. Obviously you do have the ability still to adjust how these tabbing work, and that's just under the view tools, and you have the ability to say, right, I can either have tiled views or tabbed views. Right, now that's just setting it, but if I press Control and Tab, you'll notice that it scrolls through these views very nicely. If I press down Control, Shift and Tab, it goes the other way, so it goes from right to left and scrolling through them sequentially. Now I can set that, meaning that I can record the history. So if I pick those two like so, the second one and the third one, and if I go then to the options and I go to user interface, you'll see here is a new area where you can set the ability to either scroll through these windows in order from left to right or right to left, or the history. Now I'm going to set it to the history, and if I now press Control and Tab, you'll notice that it jumped from the third one to the second one, and then again from the third one to the second one. So it remembers the history and allows you to work smoother. I think the history was the default option in the past, and now they've added the ability just to scroll from left to right as per the opening order of those items. Obviously you can also pull and push this one into a specific position. So now it's first level 1. If I move that one to the area, well, that's now position 1. So if I want the 3D view as position 1, you can pull that into the position 1. Alright, so the second one is to just look at the still the user interface and the ability to set up these tabs up front. Now obviously we can turn off these tabs, so if I'm never going to do Systems tab and I switch that off, you'll notice that the Systems tab is still there. Let me just go back and just make sure it's turned off. System tabs, okay, so there we go. So there's the electrical, and so all the systems are switched off here. And if I go OK, the System tab is missing there. Now obviously I can turn that back on and that, but upon installation we have or Autodesk have added this initial setup to set up your profile. It's basically asking you what your role is, if it's architecture or mechanical or that, and then also your specific role, if it's a BIM manager or drafter or an architect, and that will then determine which tabs are enabled. You obviously you can obviously turn them back on and off afterwards as well. So it's not as important, but it gives you a nice feel from up front, especially for new users. Right, and then there's a couple more. One of them is just the if I go to manage the shared parameters. These days the shared parameters window can be opened up, and that's quite nice because you can then see directories, and if there is longer wording in the parameter manager, you can open that up and resize this window. Okay, it's not a big one, but at least gives you the ability to see longer paths and that sort of thing. Right, there are a couple of others, but at this point these are the ones that are nice and interesting. Alright, so I will then conclude the video. Thank you for watching, and I think the improvements that Autodesk has made is assist our workflow and be able to work nice and quick. Thank you for watching.